Grace, we are live on episode number 26. What do you have to say about this?
Eric, I am afraid of the calendar. Its days are numbered.
Why?
Its days are numbered.
Oh, is that a joke? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
I know it's hilarious. It's my dad joke.
It took me a while. That's really good. I like it. I'm going to use that. You want to get this live show started?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Listen up, Grace. Episode number 26, and we made it half a year. Let's chat about it over an ice cold beer.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready. Now I'm ready. I'm Eric, Idiot Runner Kosek.
And I'm Grace, Hot Pants Langheim. Eric is all business in the front of the pack, and I am all about the party in the back.
That's right, business up front and party in the back. Together, we are the Running Mullet.
And we are going to talk about every aspect of running, the podium to the DNF and everything in between.
If you are a runner, this show is for you. Now sit back, get out your foam roller, and enjoy the party.
Hey. Welcome.
Man, I almost got ahead of myself. I think I did there a little bit. I have to push the little music intro button, and I wasn't prepared because you and I were chatting about a couple things, and we started hit play, and we've been doing this for half a year, and I just screwed up that. Here we are.
We got tons of screw ups ahead of us too. I can't wait for all of them.
Kara Hahn has a bunch of questions. I can't wait. I hope people send us questions because I want to talk about them and answer them. Grace, wow, you had a really big weekend. Congrats to you.
I did have a really big weekend. It was a fun weekend. I ran the Baker 50 miler, and that is a 50-mile race put on by the Rachel Carson Trails Conservatory. They are out. I don't know. I think in Pennsylvania, there's, especially if you live, I live in York. So to me, anything north of Harrisburg is northern Pennsylvania, and then west of Gettysburg is like it's Pittsburgh. That everything west of Gettysburg is Pittsburgh. So it's basically Pittsburgh. It's really not, but that's where the race is. It's out by Cook Forest.
Yeah, and Baker Trail Ultra Challenge 50 miler. That's the official name.
Yeah.
And put on by the Rachel Carson Conservancy.
Yeah.
And it's been going on, keeping records since 2005, you say?
Yeah, 18 years.
So that's a pretty long run.
In ultra terms, that's an old race.
Yeah. And now, was this your first run at it?
Yes, this was my first time doing the Baker. It kind of piqued my interest last year. I saw on social media the race directors and a couple people involved in the race were trying to increase their female participation. And they historically have had about 20% female, 80% male. And so they were looking to increase their participation, and I was like, oh, that's cool that they're going out and they're trying to figure it out and actively trying to increase. And so that caught my eye last year, and then I was like, well, maybe I'll check it out for next year. And then this year, I went ahead and went for it. Wanted to support them, and I also needed a qualifier for some things that I want to do next year. So this one fit the schedule. It fit what I needed for a qualifier because, qualifiers are tricky. A lot of times you can't use timed races and all that. So this one fit everything that I needed and also got to support them. So very well organized race, beautiful course, amazing people. It was a good day.
The things you want to do next year, are you leaving that open-ended on purpose? Should I poke a little bit? What do you want to do? Okay.
I'm not confirmed on those things. I want.
Fair enough.
Next year, you never know how things are gonna go. So
absolutely, I don't blame you one bit. I had to say something about that. Well, either way, you pretty much nailed it, right? You completed the 50 miler and you look okay, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, as good as I can look.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even go that far.
I usually go into these distances and I've done 50 miles and 50 miles plus enough times that I'm comfortable with the distance. And, getting comfortable with the distance, I usually don't have time goals. My goal is just to finish. And this time I was like, I'm comfortable with the distance enough that I really want to put a time goal out there. So I did. I wanted to do sub 12. I didn't tell anybody but my pacer and my crew. And I did not hit that goal, but I also didn't anticipate the course conditions to be as bad as they were. So I finished in 12:43, which, considering the course conditions, which were, according to some of the people who were involved in the race, I don't know if it was the race directors, they said there were quote unquote unprecedented rainfall and flooding that made the course just sloppy mess and hard to run through. So that slowed me down because I think if you anticipate a wet course, then you can accommodate for that. But I didn't anticipate a wet course. I thought it was going to be dry.
Right.
So I was a little bit slower than planned, but considering the conditions, I feel great about my time. And I finished the first 50K in under 8 hours, and that made me feel great. And then I hit the rail trail at the end, and I was like, I'm done. So I started walking a lot.
Well, the most important question, did you cross the rope thingy?
I crossed the rope thingy. I came upon the creek. There's a creek crossing that has 2 steel cables, or you can cross the creek. And the creek, I didn't know how deep it was going to be. And I was a little concerned about that because, like I said, they had a lot more rain than usual. So I looked at it and I was like, no, I'm not going down there. So I went on the cables. And once I'm up on the cables, I looked down and I thought, wish I would have crossed the creek. It's kind of high up.
Nice.
And then there were people who wanted to jump on at the same time as me. And I'm like, let's do this one at a time, kids. Which then I saw pictures afterwards, and there were, I think, 3 people on it at the same time and 5 people in the creek. And I was glad that I crossed the creek by myself.
So did you have drop bags did you change shoes and all that stuff? Is this obviously you said super muddy and nasty. Were you able to utilize, did it help to change your shoes or anything?
So I had amazing crew. I had Steph Daniels. And
yeah, I was going to get into that.
Yeah. And so this race, they allow crew at any point on the course.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you can stop anywhere and help your person. And then mile 30, you can have your pacer after mile 30. So because of that, I didn't do drop bags because I literally could just text them and say, meet me at the next road crossing. I did change shoes, but not because of the course conditions. I was in a pair of tighter fitting shoes early on because I wanted to move quickly. And then, inevitably there's the feet swelling and my toes were like, yeah, we're done with this. Can you please switch over to the topos? So I switched shoes because I needed some more space. And then the last 9 miles are rail trail. So I switched to road shoes for the last 9 miles.
So you had sausage pigs? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they were a little crunched up before that. And then they just needed some space. Right. And I usually don't change shoes for a 50-mile distance, not until I get to like past 100K. So changing shoes twice was odd for me, but I went with it.
Nice. So all in all, it sounds like it was a complete success. I mean, I don't know, like Grace, you ran a 50 miler this past weekend. I try not to get caught up, like as we go longer in distance and stuff, it's easy to lose touch with 25Ks and 15Ks, and things like that. And even the ultra distance of the 50K, but it's still so huge. What we all do. It's pretty cool.
It is. And I think part of it for me, one of the measuring sticks that I like to use is how do I feel afterwards, and what's my recovery look like, and I feel good. I'm not injured. That's great.
Yeah.
Emotionally, I'm still intact. Like, I didn't lose any friendships while I was out there. I wasn't too mean to Steph and Carl.
Well,
So
sometimes you have to be kind of mean to her. She can be kind of a grouch. You know what measuring stick I like to use, Grace? A measuring stick.
That's a good measuring stick, Eric.
Yeah, it works pretty good for me. I don't know. It's just something to think about.
I'll consider that. I'll consider picking one up next time I'm at.
All right. So you have been recovering properly, eating the protein, and not running the day after, even though you felt good, which we all tend to feel a lot of the times, or 2 days after, I guess. But that's neither here nor there.
I've been eating all the protein, and so I was eating right before the show. For any of you who don't know this, of course, we're on YouTube, and we do this live 7:30 at night every Monday. And if you're listening to this the next day, that's awesome. I hope maybe you're out for a run. Go faster. No, don't go faster. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. So before the show, Eric and I will get onto the channel before we go live, and we'll talk for a little bit. And we usually talk after every episode. And before every episode, I am usually eating my dinner. So I go to the gym on Mondays with my friends Rebecca and Kate, and then I get food, and then I eat in front of Eric, and it drives him insane. And I'm going to continue to do this until he stops posting videos of his gross feet.
Ooh.
That's what's going to happen.
I guess we're going to get comfortable with what we're both doing.
Recent videos of your toenails are disgusting.
It was bad. It was great, but it was really bad. That sucker was can I give it a backstory real quick? So that was damage done from, I guess it's already a month out from Montana 100, Crazy Mountain 100, when I was kicking a bunch of rocks. And both toes are the other. I won't show the other nail. It's not ready to come off yet. It's just, it feels a little, it's stuck to me. It's not ready we're not ready to part yet. But this one I ran long on Saturday, 20 miles, and I came home and I was like, oh, that's a little wiggly. And I, just gave it a little nudge, and she was ready to come off. So I don't know about you, and I think a lot of people suffer from this. Like, you'll destroy a toenail, but the thing hangs on for like months. It's the way they work. It's you can cut it back. It's kind of dead, but it still hangs on literally for months for me, until like the fresh new one pretty much says, hey, you got to get out of here because I'm big enough now. I don't know if they talk or not, but I feel like that's what happens. This one, boy, it's like a headless monster now. Like, there's nothing where there should be something. It's weird. Okay.
It's gross.
Yeah, well, it's clean now, though. There's nothing gross about it. It was gross. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. It's cool.
It's fine. You can continue with that, and I'm going to continue to eat my dinner in front of you. Right? Could you
eat your dinner while you watch that video?
I could.
Wow.
I'm not going to.
Did you watch the video, or were you like, I'm not watching this? Or was it like one of those things where you don't want to watch, but you have to?
No, I don't want to watch it. I don't. I'm
going to force you somehow to watch it. That's what I did with my kids. Yeah. I think it makes my kids stronger humans, and it grows them internally, externally. Like,
whatever you need to do to justify it, to bring attention to your toes.
I kind of apologize for that video, although I thought it was phenomenal. I mean, that's like the stuff that should win an Oscar right there.
I don't want it in my memory. Like, there's a lot of things.
It had a song to it. Everything on Instagram, I put a song to it. It was friendly. I don't know. You could think about it as you go to sleep at night. Maybe.
Yeah, that is not what I want to think about when I go to sleep.
Wow.
What are you thinking about now heading into, there's two things I want to talk about. I have to ask this question first. When are you going to get a fanny pack? Because Chris Young asked that.
Yeah, there's too much bouncy bounce in it. I have a belt that's kind of like a fanny pack, a Solomon belt that I very much enjoy, but it's not a fanny pack. I'm not going to call it a fanny pack, but that's as close as you're going to see me to a fanny pack, unless I'm chilling, like walking around. Maybe that's the new thing. I don't know. Somebody's going to have to pick one out for me, though.
I think we should have a running mullet fanny pack. I think that's a good idea.
You should not have just said that because now people know. Grace, I want to back up because, like, I was just thinking about this and, like, I want to get running mullet stuff out there. I don't know if, like, yeah, I know we can do a t-shirt. That's easy. That's great. But, man, that's a really good idea.
Right? I'm full of good ideas. You should listen to them sometime.
We should talk about that. Yeah.
That's what we're doing right now.
Don't tell anybody else in public, even though we're on public. All right. Before we go any farther, let's finish up on you. Okay. So we can get off of this whole you thing. Okay. You finished the 50 miler. What is next on tap for you? Is there anything you can tell us?
I haven't decided. I have a couple of things in my head that I'm rolling around. I'm rolling it around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm spreading it out. I'm putting it back into a bowl. I'm spreading it out again.
Okay.
I'm simmering in it.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay, cool. That's a good spot to be in. I mean, you have the rest of the year open to you, and no pressure to jump back on the train real quick. And you're coming off you should be coming off a pretty big high of completing the Baker Trail 50 miler.
Yeah. So I have, and I don't think I'm going to have anything else that I'm really going to, kind of put a lot of effort into until February. So that gives me a long runway to train and all of that. And leading into this run in particular, I did a lot of strength training leading up to it. And I was nervous about my training. I was like, I did some key runs to really make sure that things were still where I wanted them to be. And the idiot run was one of them. Mm-hmm. And other than that, I did a lot more strength training than usual, and it worked out well. And so I'm excited to continue to do a lot of strength training. I did I mixed in a little bit of mountain biking over the summer. So that was fun, and excited to continue over the fall. I'm, probably going to increase my running, do less of the fun stuff. I don't know. I consider running a lot of fun too. I just backed off on my running to have more family time. And I'm glad that I did that. But, my daughter's headed back to school, so I have more time to go hit the trails. So yeah, I don't have anything real serious, I think, until February, and we'll see if that holds true. I don't know.
Cool. Nice. Well,
you have serious things, and I want to talk about two of them because you have a big run happening in Canada, and you also posted out on social media. Don't think that I didn't see that.
That's what I was going
to want to head back to the mid-state.
Yeah. Happy Podcastiversary, Grace.
Happy Podcastiversary.
This is our 6-month anniversary show. Yeah, I know we only do this once a week, but how in the HE double hockey sticks have we been doing this for 6 months? I swear I was looking at numbers. I'm like, wait a minute, I must not know how to do math because there's no way we've been doing this for 6 months. But it turns out I'm a mathematician because I think we have that.
You are Eric Mathematician Kosak.
Yeah. So, I mean, congrats, Grace. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I still don't know if we should be doing like a season per se or seasons, or if we're just going to run this sucker like week after week forever until we're dead. That'd be cool too.
Yeah.
But it's going pretty good. I think I'm happy with it.
I don't know, but I enjoy it. I think it's fun. I like talking to you most of the time. That's good enough.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'm like
the 80-20 principle, 80% of the time.
I'm like 55-45, honestly. Either way.
It's fair.
It is fun. And I can't believe it's been 6 months already, but here's to another 6 months. Then we'll get to a year and do it all over, I guess, huh?
Yeah. I already have ideas for the end of the year.
Okay. Well, I hope you have ideas for like next week because I'm still right.
I don't. 1 week at a time.
Yeah. So 2 weeks. All right. 2 weeks from right now, Monday night in 2 weeks, I will currently probably have bad diarrhea because the following morning, tomorrow morning in 2 weeks, I will be starting Divide 200, which is Canada's first 200-mile looped race in the Northern Rockies. So yeah, that's coming really quick. I'm already at the point where I just want to start and I have 2 weeks to hang on here. So I'm a little more jittery about just getting going than normal. I feel like maybe.
Okay.
But it'll be fine. Everything's fine. Everything's totally fine. I'm fine. I'm ready. I bought all the little stuff. Like I have what's the stuff? What's it called? The stuff that keeps gravel from getting in your shoe.
The thingies that you put over your shoe?
Yeah, see, they're thingies. What are they called?
Yeah, those thingies.
I bought a pair of them because
Yeah.
Tahoe
I love them.
when I did Tahoe when I did Tahoe 5 years ago, I was a amateur novice wet behind the ear guy. Gators.
Sorry.
Thank goodness. Not alligator gators, man.
Terrible.
Wow. But anyway, I ordered a pair, or I didn't wear them for Tahoe, and it was very dusty, and it got in your socks, and it was like sandpaper, and it was not cool. I have no idea if I'll need them for Tahoe, but I figure I better have a pair that actually fits me to just prepare.
What kind of gators did you get?
They are, I Googled stuff, like, ranked them and stuff. They're the REI ones, and they fit pretty nice. They're nice, simple, light, stretchy, tight. Anyway, I got that. I got new shoes. I got the Hoka. Wow, I am not good. Tecton 2s, which are way overpriced. But they work for me. I like the Tecton 1s also. So I have a couple pairs of that. I got all the little stuff to make me feel like, all right, I got everything lined up for this race. Now I just got to show up and perform. I think. So if there's anything I don't have that I need, could you go ahead and let me know so I can get it?
Got it. I will give you a list. Now, I like that you're talking about this because I just did a call with one of my athletes today prepping for a race this weekend. And I like to break it out into 4 categories. So there's your gear strategy, your pacing strategy, your food strategy, and your mental strategy, right? So you put all those 4, if you can nail all those 4 pieces, then you're good. And we were talking about gear, and I brought up a couple of things, and let me see if you do these things. So you figured out, what you're going to wear.
All right, got
all of those things ready. I love that you got gaiters. I recommend gaiters and stuff that is, you got your fun races and you got your serious races. And I think in serious races, I wear gaiters. I use Dirty Girl gaiters.
Yeah, they're popular and they have a bunch of different styles and colors and stuff.
They're pretty simple, so they connect to any shoe.
I didn't feel like I'm a dirty girl, so I wasn't really ready for that.
Well, you know what,
Eric? I will be soon. I think I will be a dirty girl soon, maybe.
I think you are. I think you're a dirty girl.
No, I'm blushing.
I'm going to put a poll on the Facebook page and see how many people agree with me that you are a dirty girl.
Anyway, let's move on, Grace.
I love that you did that. One of the things that I was talking to my athlete about was making sure that everything is lubed. And then if you have to re-lube throughout the day, I think a great tip is to have a glove with you so that you lube everything, and then you can take the glove off and you don't have to wash your hands, because a lot of times you don't have access to a sink to wash your hands after you've just lubed your parts.
Okay.
So glove.
Yep. And I'm going to add in there, I didn't buy it yet, but I'm going to, is a couple packs of, I don't want to say wet wipes, but to clean yourself because shower is not accessible type of thing, which you can use them to clean up your hands if need be from the lube. But yeah, that's on my list to get. Disposable toothbrushes, probably, on the list. Other than that, I'm good. I think I'm good. Keep it simple.
Yeah, I do I have a little package that I keep in my pack that has some wet wipes, some squirrel's nut butter, and a plastic glove. And then I know that I'm good anytime. I have that with me, chapstick, Kleenex, and then my food. And that's pretty much all I need.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
What are you doing for nutrition?
I am doing scratch, fuel, and real food. I'm going to eat as much as I can, not get sick to my stomach. Actually, I'm going to try to fuel a lot with gels and maple syrup, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm kind of turning back everything I've thought I should do and going back to the quick fuels that I can just choke down even when my stomach is horrible, hoping that it doesn't get to that point. I've trained with them a little bit. I'm only talking about like 2 training runs, but I feel like when I and the maple syrup has come from my good friend and very strong competitor, Gabe Batdorf, is where I kind of.
I've been saying maple syrup for years. You just in one ear, out the other. That's what happens.
So the maple syrup idea was from my amazing friend, Grace Langheim. We'll edit out that first part, Grace. No, but anyway, I've played around with it the past couple runs, 18, 20-mile runs, and purposefully fueled with it. And when I felt like the past 2 weekends, when I get home from my long run, I'm still tired, but I'm hungry, which I hope that's a great sign. I'm hungry.
Good.
I'm always hungry after I get back from a run, but this is like I'm hungry. Like I need a meal now. That's what I want to be coming in every aid station in a perfect world, right? So, I mean, that's what I'm doing. I got a couple other gels that are like flavorless gels the idea was from Trevor Fye, who is also a very competitive fast runner. They're just, I forget the name of them. You can get them on the feed. They're like Martin, which is a very expensive gel, but they're not as expensive. So
nice.
And all the numbers are the same. So anyway, I'm going to try to incorporate that. Also obviously eating a lot of real food if possible.
Yeah.
That's my strategy.
Nice.
And it's Canadian food up there. So I think everything's in like kilometers food wise and stuff like that. So that's going to be hard to figure out. I don't know. So you have to eat like 4 kilometers of Rice Krispie treats. I don't know what that means.
I don't know either. Gabe, thank you for suggesting maple syrup to Eric. Gabe, I'm going to give you suggestions to give to Eric because he'll listen to you.
Grace, I listen to everything you tell me. You have no idea. So yeah, I mean, that's where I stand with that. I'm still
trying to use poles.
I'm taking them with me. I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know if I might try to hold off for a while, just don't have to carry them and stuff because I do have the luxury of a crew that can give them to me when I see them. So, but yeah, I intend on at least the second 100, probably using them.
Okay.
And this is going to be a practice race of sleeping strategy, which gets me to, I guess, my mid-state attempt next April.
Yeah, I was pumped to. I've been in this mindset lately. I love being out there, even if it's not an FKT, but being out there for days. There's something about it that I love the experience of it. I can't wait to go out and attempt another FKT. You posted out on Facebook that you're going to go for the mid-state FKT again.
Yeah. And I do that. Just to make it clear, Grace, and I think you understand it, but I need to do that.
Yeah.
Put it on Facebook, I mean, or whatever social media. It helps.
Yep.
It really helps me because I can say I'm going to do it, but there's something in life that can always come up or get in the way, or I don't want to take that week off because I just don't want to burn the time. But by putting it out there, it solidifies it more for me. I'm not saying I still can't back out if I need to. I can't not say that, but it really does, in my head at least, it helps me know that it's real. And that's why I do it. And there's no bragging about it. And the reason I want to talk about it is I'm kind of considering possibly maybe doing it unsupported.
I knew you were going to say that.
But I don't know what I'm doing in that world. So
probably self-supported, not unsupported, right?
Unsupported.
You're going to carry.
I'm going to carry everything.
Everything.
Yeah. So I'm going to call him a good friend. I don't know him very well, but we've talked, and he holds the unsupported record, which is about almost a day longer than Pat Hines and my supported record. Bob Stewart, he did it shortly. I don't know how long after I did it. Totally unsupported. And when I say unsupported, he's very strict. He's very, very strict with that. Also, he's let's just say he did it to a T. And he did it fast. I mean, within 24 hours of my supported time, I think is amazing for totally unsupported. So he's the carrot that's got me thinking, boy, I'm torn because I love people being a part of this thing, this journey. And I hope that people are. Even Becky is like, if you do it unsupported, we can't do a thing. And like, yeah, that stinks. But there's something really raw and amazing about trying to do that, bite that trail off unsupported. And I think it's in the realm of possible for me.
Yeah. And I was surprised going after the self-supported for the Horseshoe Trail, how much it still felt like a team effort. Because going into it, I was like, okay, I'm going to do this self-supported, I'm going to be out there by myself. This is just me. And I ended up, because I did the same thing, I put it out into the world to make it real. And I put it out on Facebook onto the Horseshoe Trail Facebook page, because they have their own page. There's plenty of people there who are not runners at all. And I put it out on that page just so people knew what I was trying to do. And they also knew that there were certain rules on that trail, and I was following all of them. And I wanted to make that clear. And I was surprised how many people just came out of the woodworks and gave me advice and just moral support. It was pretty phenomenal going into that, how many people were incredibly helpful.
Yeah.
So you still got a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm torn. I mean, the one thing I do remember most of the first attempt was the friends that came out and spent their work days helping me. So I'll miss that. But let's just say there might be an Ultimate Direction Fast Pack in the mail coming to me right now to try out. And we'll go from there. There's a lot I gotta, man, that's an incredible thing to do. But
yeah, that's huge. That's exciting. I like when you put that out there. I don't know. I'm excited for you. It's one of the things I'm considering this fall is heading back out and doing something. I don't know what yet, but we'll see.
I've needed to, since, obviously Pat beating my time pushed me a little harder to want to go back, but it was there just because I know that I think I played it safe in a lot of spots the first time. Because I didn't have a carrot to chase. I did, but I didn't have a really fast time to set. I knew I could set the bar higher with whatever I did by being comfortable. This time, whether I do it unsupported or supported, my plan is to race it.
Yeah.
To the best of my ability, So we'll see. I picked the time period because I think as long as the snow is gone, when Pat did it late March, basically Easter time, it's got to be the best time of year.
It is.
Leaf packs packed down from the winter, and the weeds aren't horrible yet, and the temperatures are not sweltering. So all that, if everything goes to plan, I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it's a great time of year. And the other reason I like that time of year is because you can see the blazes better, especially later on, when you start not thinking correctly. it's just easier to stay on trail. I'm excited for you. I hope that you go after it and have a good time out there. And I don't know, I've been trying to figure out, obviously I want to head back to the Horseshoe Trail, but that's not going to happen until next year, obviously, just because the Horseshoe Trail is very, very overgrown this time of year.
Right.
And not due to anybody's fault, like who maintains the trail. Actually, that trail is maintained very well. It's just the nature of that particular trail, because it's an equestrian trail, is not great for an FKT in the fall. So.
Yeah, and speaking of FKTs, I mean, Carl, what's his last name? Carl Sabre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He just regained his supported FKT on the Pacific Coast Trail.
Pacific Crest
Trail, sorry. Which is insane. These people, I mean, these efforts, and then they do it again. It's like, holy moly.
Yeah, he's a beast. And Heather Anderson also took, I think it was the Washington section, and she set the longest unsupported women's time ever with that effort. Now, she at one point had the Pacific Crest Trail FKT, and she also had the Appalachian Trail. She's the one who had it before, what's his name?
Yeah.
That guy. Jurek, before Scott Jurek.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I tell you what, so are you gonna listen to music or anything while you're out there in Canada?
I'm gonna take stuff with me, but I'm gonna say probably not. Every time I say I'm gonna take it with me and I'm gonna do it, I never do. So
well, if you happen to want some audiobook suggestions, I have some great ones for you, because there are these books out there, and I'd love to even do a whole episode about this. I got some great suggestions from Erica Lubera when I was going out to do my Horseshoe Trail, and there are several accounts from people who have set FKTs on the AT and the PCT, and they wrote books about it, and they documented step by step the whole thing. And listening to that while you're out there on a big long effort, I'm telling you what, is pretty. So it's got it in my head. I want to be out in the woods.
Yeah, I'll probably take you up on that. I mean, I'd rather have it and not use it than not have it and want it. Yeah. For sure, especially if, middle of the race and I'm by myself for many, many miles.
Yep. We're going to have to do a whole episode on book suggestions. I have lots of them about running book suggestions.
What am I going to do in that? Yeah, what do I do in that episode? Just sit there and listen to you? I don't know.
Isn't that what you do in every episode?
Well, that's a good point.
No, you're right. You don't listen to me. You listen to Gabe. We already established this.
All right. So
I'm going to tell Gabe all the books that I like.
And Gabe's like my secretary. Yeah, he knows that. He already is. Don't give Gabe any more. If Gabe, he might like the books, and then he's going to be even stronger of a runner. He's already He's already in front of me, and I don't like it. I used to be able to beat him, and it's long gone. Go ahead, Gabe. Say something. Type something. I dare you. Anyway, UTMB. You want to talk about that for a second?
UTMB is happening this week. I'm glad you mentioned that. I almost forgot. And so for those of you listening who don't know about UTMB Ultra Trail Mont Blanc happens. It starts in Chamonix, France. And it's.
Did you just add a when you said Mont Blanc, you sound like you added your own little spin on that. Like you couldn't just
Did I take one whole semester of French class? Yes, I did. Thank you very much.
Say it again.
Mont Blanc.
Oh, yeah, that. Yeah. I like it. Okay. Proceed. You can move on now.
Should I speak French to you?
Yeah.
Then you'll listen to me.
Yeah.
That's what
It's
I
kind
just
of
need
sexy,
to-
Grace. It's kind of sexy.
I need to finish learning French and then you'll listen to me. I need to learn
I
how to
won't.
say maple syrup in French.
I won't know what you're saying, but I'll listen. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt. UTMB. Go. What is it? Mont Blanc.
UTMB is Ultra Trail Mont Blanc is happening this weekend. And so it's like the Super Bowl of trail running. It is a huge, just tens of thousands of people because it's not just one race. The premier race is called UTMB, but there are several other races that are happening at the same time. CCC, there are, I don't remember the names of all of them. Probably the second most popular is CCC.
So sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but am I correct that I saw somewhere that the first, whatever race, the first one started today?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. They're staggered.
Okay.
And I think the first one does start today. One of them is a team race. There's different distances, different courses. And the big one, kind of the big papa of all of them, the big mama of all of them, the mamas and the papas of all of them is UTMB. And that's 105 miles and right around 30,000 feet of elevation gain going through 3 countries and around a giant mountain. And it's beautiful. And in Europe, if you don't know this, in Europe, trail running is really, really popular. Unlike here in the United States, where it's a small niche sport, in Europe, it's a huge sport. And there's tons of sponsorships and there's TV spots and it's a big deal. And this is the biggest deal out of the entire year. So everybody is going to be glued to they do a live feed, they do live coverage. And unlike you and I, they have a lot of money behind it. And which means they have camera people all over the entire course and people talking about it the entire time. So I am really excited about this. This already came into the chat.
So,
Zach Miller is returning. He was 4th last year. And Zach Miller is local. He is from Millersville, just across the Susky from us down here in South Central Pennsylvania. Are you eating your beard?
it's part of beard life. I can't stand it. Please keep going. This is why you have to tune into the live show right there.
So you can watch Eric eat his beard.
My beard hair. So who is your money on, Grace? Would you dare put this on the Zach Miller or somebody else? Mouth shut. What are you doing?
Walmsley is going back.
And he lives there now, correct?
Yes, he did move out there. I think Walmsley has, when he has his mindset on a goal, he does really well. He takes a few tries to figure it out. Obviously, Western states and the B was a good example. But I think Walmsley has a shot at it. Here's the thing, though. I think that I try to follow a bit of the foreign ultra runners. I probably, Matthew Blanchard is going back. He's a very strong runner. I don't know as many of the names. Here's what I know.
It's Matthew.
Matthew.
You were all about the right.
Matthew.
Yeah, exactly. Matthew Blanchard.
Yeah.
Yeah, not Matthew, like American Matthew. Time for dinner.
No, I did Americanize it. It's Mathieu.
Yeah.
Mathieu Blanchard.
Yeah, that's better. He would appreciate it.
So I'm glad we have a very small listener base for episodes like this. So he's a really strong runner. I think he's got a shot. I don't know as many of them. Here, at the end of the day, no American male has ever won UTMB. And those is just facts.
Yeah.
And so
sorry.
Yeah, I wouldn't put my money on any of the men just because I don't know their performance as well. and I don't know their resumes as well. I know the American men fairly well, but I don't know enough foreign men to put my money on anybody.
Yeah, I have the same problem, and whenever I watch UTMB Mont Blanc, it's it seems like it's always a surprise. It's always a surprise. Like, I mean, Walmsley was kind of slated to do really well for a couple years, and Zach Miller was for a couple years, and it seems like the table's always. I mean, that's every race it does, but especially for me watching UTMB, it seems like. It's always a surprise what happens. You know, a couple of people drop out that you weren't expecting or don't do as well, and vice versa. Like the winners weren't necessarily the number one picks of many.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think it'll be a fun race to watch, as it always is. Kara is trying to get me to say, I'm not saying that because I know what that means, Kara. I'll say, je t'aime fromage.
So John Brzezinski says we want DeWalter to go to UTMB, but she is going to UTMB. John.
Yeah, DeWalter's coming back. Ruth Croft, she's also a very strong runner. Sabrina Stanley is coming, and I haven't seen a lot from Sabrina Stanley out on social media lately. Maybe I just haven't. That's been coincidence, but she was not able to run last year because of COVID, and I think she is very hungry for a strong finish. So I'll be interested to see how Sabrina Stanley performs. I think Courtney DeWalter is still the stronger runner. She's also coming off of 2 record-breaking performances this year. Can she keep that up? I think Courtney is also, she's smart. She drops when she needs to drop. She's not going to have a lifelong injury out of one race. So I think if Courtney is feeling it and she's having a good day, then she'll win. And if she's not feeling it, then she might call it a day. It doesn't look like she's slowing down anytime soon, though. But I'll be interested to see how Sabrina does, just because of last year. And Ruth Croft is in great shape. So those are probably the big ones that I'm watching right now. Lucy Bartholomew is also having a really, really good year. Tyler Green, Arlen Glick. I'll be watching those 2. Jason Schlarb, I love him. He's, he's been in the ultra running game for a long time. He's a smart runner.
You're just reading names off the list now. It's not fair. You sound like really like you know what you're talking about. I'm calling you out on this.
But you have to. Here's the thing: you can go to the UTMB website and you can mark your favorites.
But then I'm going to
and then you can watch them on. You can watch them on a little map.
Yeah, but no, I mean, my money's on Courtney for female. Yeah. I think it'd be silly not to if I was a betting man. I think she's had plenty of recovery from the hard rocks in the Western States, and unless something crazy happens, my money would be on her for female. But yeah, there's definitely a good crop of females running it.
Yeah, and Zach Miller, I think he went out there a couple weeks ago. He also moved out to the West Coast, which was smart on him. He's had a really good training year. Zach is an interesting runner to follow. He will go all out, and then he's either going to blow up or he's going to be top 5. Like, there's really no in between for him. And he's said before that's his running style. So I think he'll be fun to watch in the beginning, and then we'll see, we'll see if it's a repeat of last year or the year before.
Well, the fun thing about Walmsley and Miller, they both have pretty good experience on the course. So I'm sure they've learned some things and hopefully put that to good use. Yeah,
I believe this is Zach's 3rd year going back, and I think it's Walmsley's 3rd or 4th.
Yeah. I still remember the great picture at the start line. I love the picture of the start line a couple years ago, both of them, and Walmsley's significantly taller, and Zach's right next to him looking up at him, having a conversation, and it's just a cool picture.
Yeah, it is. And Zach, if you look at his photos closely, he's usually sporting some Run PA gear, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
If we gave him running mullet gear, do you think he'd wear it?
I mean, if we force him to, maybe. I don't think he's gonna wear a. What are we making? The
Fanny packs.
Fanny pack. I don't know if a fanny pack is the best thing for UTMB.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't. You'd have to.
Post run.
Huh?
Post run.
Yeah, post run like you did for the WrestleMania. Maybe you put a beer in there or something.
I don't think he would want a beer. I don't think he's the beer drinking type.
All right, but for those listening and those that will listen, I honestly, I think that the fanny pack running mullet limited edition is a good idea, and it's going. If I look into this and spend all my time at work tomorrow looking into this, it's going to be a quality fanny pack. Probably.
Well, just hold on. I have an idea too, so I will talk to you about that.
All right, well, keep this one a secret so you don't tell everybody no, because the fanny pack is out in the world now, and you should have said that just to me. Some things can be kept between just you and I, Grace, you know?
Well, can they
right.
really?
No. But, all right. Well, anything else you want to say?
No. That's happy 6 month.
Happy Podcastiversary, 6-month Podcastiversary. What did you get me? I've been waiting all week.
I'll send you a picture of my toenails.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. That was my gift to you, I guess. So you think of that when you're going to sleep tonight. My nail coming off.
I'm not watching it.
Next week is episode 27.
Yeah.
And we have some things planned.
It's going to be great.
Tune in because it's going to be great. And yeah, you should definitely tune in. Tell your friends to tune in. I want to see new people commenting, new commenters.
You hear that? He's sick of all of you. He wants new people.
No, I want more of the same.
I like all of you, just for the record. I want everybody who's here right now.
Go ahead. Keep going. Use me to promote
you. I think you're fine just the way you are.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to change at all.
Yeah, perfect. Just perfect. Right where we should end it. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to listen to Grace. She's such a wonderful human. And thanks for listening to me because I don't have much else to say.
Eric,
what?
Eric, you're just fine the way you are too, buddy.
Thanks. It was my birthday last week, you know.
It was. How was your birthday?
It was good. We were on here. I just wanted to remind you.
That was right. I was supposed to ask you that, and I almost forgot. I'm glad you said something. Lacey Deller asked me to ask you how your birthday was.
Oh, well, that's very nice. I like her. She's a lot nicer.
Nicer than me.
Yeah, a lot nicer than you. It doesn't really take much, though. But anywho, we'll see you next week for another action-packed 55 minutes of fun, and I can't wait.
Yeah, me too.
All right. See ya.
Bye.